Implementation of the two-pot retirement system has resulted in an influx of withdrawals. Alexforbes, along with other pension fund groups, say thousands of applications have been made in the first few weeks of the new system, which came into effect this month. While Alexforbes says it has processed over 78,000 withdrawal claims amounting to 1.5 billion rand, Momentum has received 69,000, Sanlam at 5,500, and Old Mutual has assisted 190,000 clients using a dedicated WhatsApp channel. Alexforbes has also flagged that the high level of withdrawals highlights the need for additional education to help South Africans make wiser financial decisions. Alexforbes Solutions and Enablement Executive John Anderson discusses this with us. Thank you so much for your time, John. It's quite concerning that at this level of implementation, we're still talking about a lack where education is concerned. Where are you seeing the cracks?
Yeah, so there's obviously been a huge amount of interest in this two-pot system. And just to update you on some of the figures, as we stand here today, we've processed 120,000 claims, and the total value of that is 2.3 billion. And we're estimating that about 483 million of that will go into tax, and the balance going into the economy to spend. But in addition to that, I think in the first 3 days, we had about 750,000 engagements with clients looking at their balances, what's available, and from where they can make the claim payments. So we have, it is quite concerning to see that there are individuals potentially misunderstanding the two-pot system, misunderstanding that they don't need to rush. The amount that's there will be there available at any time. In fact, it grows over time with returns and additional contributions that you can make. So it's not that it's a once-off opportunity. So we are asking individuals to think carefully whether they do need the money. Clearly, from the information that we're gathering, we do see that there are individuals that do need. It's young families that are needing and are financially stretched. But there are people that are misunderstanding and thinking that this is a once-off opportunity. It will be available to you at any time, so no need to rush.
John, there's also the misconception that once an application has been made, turnaround time is one with speed, and that is not the case. Talk us through the process from one seeking to withdraw, making the application, and waiting for payday.
Yes. So I think there's a couple of steps that one needs to go through. It's not similar to when you withdraw from your bank account. Remember, the monies are invested. They're invested in local markets, international markets. Also, in terms of the way the process works, is you've got to do a number of checks and validations, make sure that the claims are valid. In addition, we need to then do a tax directive with the South African Revenue Service. When that comes back, then one can start instructing the underlying investment managers to disinvest monies from the markets. And then only once that is concluded, can you then pay. And then there needs to be, again, a check with the relevant banks. And then only after that, the money will be reflected. So the turnaround times really depends on the quality of information that we get. If people have any tax issues, that will delay things. And then also the instructions to the underlying managers. So we've already started processing the first claim, so it can take a couple of days at best, but we are asking people to just be patient. There are high volumes, and it can take up to 20 days, depending on the circumstances. But we are working as quickly as possible to get to all the claims. Just make sure that your information is correct and that you don't have any tax issues.
Let's also talk about what industry has stumbled upon where employers have not been paying over employees' withdrawals or contributions. What is the situation around that?
So in terms of the legislation, employers do need to pay across contributions to retirement funds. And there are penalties and various things associated if that's not the case. Most employers are actually quite good and do pay. They deduct the money from your salary and then pay it across to funds. But there are employers that don't do that. And this kind of system will highlight and flag that. So there are steps that members can take to lay complaints, to remedy that. But for us as administrators, we also have a duty to make sure that any amounts deducted are invested. And we do actually have a process where we have to follow, including getting the police involved if it's found that the monies aren't being taken over. And we have a regular process to do that. Unfortunately, there are still employers that don't pay across the money. But I think on the whole, it's a small portion of employers. But I think one must just check that, check your statement, make sure that your money is being deducted from your salary, is being paid across, that your statement actually reflects, and maybe just check with your administrator if everything is in order.
Thank you so much for your time. John Anderson is with Alexforbes this afternoon talking to us about somewhat of an overview in the last couple of weeks that the two-pot system has come into effect, or into implementation.